This is Carmel Angelo, Mendocino County CEO. I'm here today with Dr. Doohan, our Public Health Officer, and also Sheriff Matt Kendall. Our goal today is to give you the Friday COVID-19 update. At this point, I would like to turn this over to Dr. Doohan, our County Public Health Officer.
Greetings, Mendocino County. I want to give you my best wishes as we enter into a sacred holiday weekend for many of the people in Mendocino County as we celebrate Easter this weekend. And to say that I know that this is a hard time for all of us. It's harder for some than others, but there is no way that these pandemic days that we're living through are easy for anyone. Today, I've released new sheltering in place orders. This is the third version of these orders that I have written. And every time that I release these orders, they are done with careful consideration of the feedback that we get from our elected officials, the feedback that we get from our community who sends in their messages through the call center, from our county council, from our incident commander, Carmel Angelo, and the others on our team in the Emergency Operations Center. So the sheltering in place orders, to share a bit of history right now, the very first ones came out in March, and that was March 18th. And this was before the governor released his orders for the state of California. After the governor released his orders, we had a second version of these sheltering in place orders that I released on March 24th. And those matched the governor's orders. Our orders can only be more restrictive, not less restrictive than the governor's sheltering in place orders. Today, I released a new set of orders, and the orders today are to reflect that in our rural community, we have been able at this point to, as far as we can tell, hold the line on the spread of the pandemic in our community. We are absolutely not out of danger, and I'm sure we have many more cases in our community that we've been able to test because there is a national shortage of testing for COVID-19 across the entire country, across the state of California, and across Northern California as well. But to the best of our ability, the testing that we've done has given us a very good picture into the state of affairs with COVID-19. In our county, we have done 371 tests, 144 through our public health lab, and 227 through our community clinics and our hospital partners who've all done such a terrific job of caring for our people on the front lines. There are probably more tests that we haven't even had reported to us that have been done. We rely on voluntary reporting for negative tests. For the public health testing that we do, we facilitate it for our partners. Our partner clinics and hospital, if they need a rapid turnaround test, we will help them out. But public health testing is not done by the public health department directly. We work with our partners on that. So out of those 371 tests, there were 4 positives. And I have shared that with you very openly. Anytime that I'm speaking in public, we have shared the positive tests that we know of. And those are all mandatory reporting. So I can tell you for sure, there have only been 4 positive tests in our county. These 4 individuals did well at home, they recovered at home, and they are better. So this is a very good outcome for us in Mendocino County. We monitor these people very, very closely. We have public health calling them every single day, and we are aware of what's going on in their home situations. And these individuals have been at home, and they are still staying at home with shelter in place, and they have recovered. So this is good news for us. And because of this, because our clinics and hospitals are working so well together, but still aware that we have a pandemic at our doorstep and that we do have undiagnosed cases, we're sure in the county, who are out there, but we're not aware of them. We do have a new sheltering in place order today that is got some relief, I think. It's very small, and I'm going to say we still have a sheltering in place order that's very firm and strong. But when you do, please look on our website, Mendocino County, to read the new sheltering in place order, and you will see that there's some areas there where, with careful consideration, I've responded out there to what I think are reasonable requests on the part of our community for some slight amount of breathing room in our sheltering in place orders. First of all, The last order that I released was open-ended. It did not have an end date, and that was with alignment with the governor. This sheltering in place order has an end date of April 10th. So this gives you a light at the end of the tunnel. I can tell you for sure that the sheltering in place will not disappear on April 10th. It must be a staged effort so that what we have today gets stepwise loosened gradually. We can't just go from sheltering in place to everyone being outside, because that would allow the pandemic to rage through our community. So it is a staged effort, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel for April 10th, which is when the sheltering in place order, the current one that was released today, has a date at the end of it. The other thing about it is, as you read it, you will see that there is some room in it for example, having a funeral, which is a very sad thing to talk about. But in the prior sheltering in place order, it did not specify that people could come together for a funeral. So this new sheltering in place order has a funeral of 10 people can attend a funeral with proper social distancing. Another element of this sheltering in place order is that it allows for live streaming of important events, such as for Easter. There are guidelines in the sheltering in place order that allow our religious leaders to hold an Easter service in the church with proper social distancing and 4 people present to participate in that live stream. So there can be a camera person, someone dealing with the sound, and then 2 individuals leading the service. There's these types of elements that are both safe, I believe safe for our community, but also allow us to maintain connection, maintain hope, be able to feel that we can still live within this restrictive environment of sheltering in place. I do also want to highlight that last week on Friday, there were 2 guidances I released as your health officer. One was on the wearing of facial coverings by the public when out doing essential activities in the public. These can be any type of cloth covering to cover the nose and mouth. And this is something that's very, very important for our community to do when they're out in public doing their essential activities. It only works, however, in combination with sheltering in place and social distancing of 6 feet and more. Also on Friday, I released a guidance on the requirement, on Friday it was a guidance for businesses to post a social distancing protocol. This is for essential businesses. That essential business protocol that was a guidance on Friday is now part of the new sheltering in place order. So there's a lot to digest in what I'm sharing with you today, but I want to let you know this is up on our website, the Mendocino County website, the new sheltering in place order, and the guidance on facial coverings, as well as the guidance, which is now part of the new order on essential businesses and as social distancing protocols. In terms of the number of cases in our county, we still have those 4 original cases. And as I said, these individuals have recovered, but are still sheltering in place at home, still being followed by our public health department. So we know that everybody is safe. I also would like to share that we have done, as I mentioned a moment ago, 371 tests in Mendocino County as far as we are aware. In other words, there may have been more tests done, but what I can tell you for sure is that there are only 4 positives. I also want to thank my deputy health officer, Dr. Jim Flaherty. Dr. Flaherty is known to many of you as a superb pediatrician who worked for years at Consolidated Tribal Health. He's been the director of our emergency medical services in the past. And I'm so grateful to Dr. Flaherty, who has joined me as my deputy health officer. And he is doing and leading some very important efforts on behalf of our pandemic response. He is doing a program to do surveillance testing. This is for asymptomatic people that do not have any symptoms of COVID-19, but might be very high risk if they were to get COVID-19. For example, people experiencing homelessness. And he led surveillance testing at our plowshares in Ukiah this week, and he'll be doing more surveillance testing at other sites around the county in the coming week. He also has been doing a great job of leading our our campaign for testing, increasing our testing capacity, and he works with our emergency medical services, our Coastal Valley Emergency Medical Services group to coordinate our EMS response, and also with our tribal leaders. So I just want to say today, thank you so much to my Deputy Health Officer, Dr. Jim Flaherty, as well as to everybody else in our community. We're all in this together. We're all in this together. I am sheltering in place at home. I'm following my own sheltering in place orders, doing as much work from home as I can, and I continue to work very hard, night and day, every day, for you, Mendocino County. And thank you so much. That's it for my weekly update.
Thank you, Dr. Doohan. Again, Carmel Angelo, Mendocino County CEO. I would like to make one clarification that the shelter-in-place revised order is up on May 10th, not April 10th. Dr. Doohan, there was, you at one point said April 10th, and people did hone into that. So,
oh, I apologize. It starts today and it ends on May 10th. Thank you very much, Carmel Angelo.
Thank you, Doohan. Okay, at this time, I would like to go to Sheriff Matt Kendall to give an update on enforcement. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam CEO. Hello, I'm Sheriff Matt Kendall. Currently, we're seeing a lot of compliance with the enforcement. The health officer's orders, for the most part, are being respected by the public. However, things are beginning to get a little tense. Our calls for service for the month of March were down by about 18 to 20%. However, our calls for service with violent crimes and felonious assaults, including shootings, attempted murder, they were actually up. Domestic violence was up roughly 20 to 25%, along with all of the other crimes. Currently, I have with me today my patrol captain, Captain Gregory Van Patten, and then my jail captain, Captain Timothy Pierce. Currently, we're working on some new orders that have come down from the Judiciary Committee. Mendocino County is going to start doing more releases from our custodies. We have done several releases already. The staffing in the jail remains strong. We're checking our people before they come in. Our deputies are submitting to temperature checks, making sure that no one's been exposed to anyone. We're using good PPE in the jail, the protective equipment and the safety equipment, face masks, things like that. Currently, we're not having any issues whatsoever, and our staffing is still strong. The new judicial orders will go into effect on Monday, the 13th. I'm going to be putting out a short PSA discussing responses from deputy sheriffs and the kind of the problems that we're up against right now, where we're trying to keep people safe while continuing to serve the public and preserve public safety. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff Kendall. Again, Carmel Angelo. Just a few key points about Mendocino County services. As you know, most of Mendocino County's offices are closed to foot traffic. So if you want to visit any of the offices for any of our services, please call ahead or go online and make sure that office either has open hours or that you can set appointments. Most of the offices you can set appointments. The treasurer's office is open today, and of course our assessor's office is open as needed. And as Sheriff Kendall said, public safety is there 24/7. All of our emergency services are open to the public 24/7. Additionally, with the COVID-19 event, we do have two additional services that I would like to mention. We have a call center, and that call center is open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and after that, it rolls over to dispatch. And the number for the call center is 707-234-6052. The purpose of the call center is exactly that, to take your calls regarding COVID-19. We have our staff that are answering the call center, but we also have medical staff that are backing them up if there are questions they cannot answer. Additionally, we have started a warm line, and this is our Mendocino County Behavioral Health Division that started this warm line, and a warm line is a non-crisis support line. This number is answered Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and the number for the warm line is 707-472-2311. And I would encourage you, if you want someone to talk with, if the isolation is getting to you, please feel free to contact the warm line. Another service that we will be offering at some point in time, and that is part of our COVID-19 response, is an alternate care site. Many of you have heard us talk about the alternate care site and the purpose of that. An alternate care site is just that. If we need to do isolation and quarantine for people that are not sick and are not in a hospital but cannot be isolated or quarantined at home, then we could use the alternate care site. At this point, it will be a facility that is available to meet the needs of the COVID-19 response. That alternate care site is just about set up. We just got word from the state that they have approved the facility, and so we are working on our staffing plan for operations. The alternate care site is at 131 Whitmore Lane. And again, we're very pleased that we were able to move quickly to get this site up and running. So as far as Mendocino County services, we're here. We hope to be here tomorrow, and the next day we hope to serve you. Again, I would call ahead if you're going to an office just to be sure that they take appointments or that somebody will be there. What you'll hear from us over the next few weeks, along with the support we're offering to public health and Dr. Doohan, is how Mendocino County will move forward with some of the latest regulations that have changed with COVID-19, specifically property tax, sales tax, and then, of course, the economic downturn that we are all taking at this point in time. We're very concerned about our business community. We have West Company assisting us and working with the business community. And we're hoping over the next couple weeks that we have more dialogue with our business partners and our Board of Supervisors to discuss how Mendocino County could really support the business community. So at this point in time, I would like to say thank you for joining us today. Thank you to Dr. Doohan for giving the Friday update. Thank you to Sheriff Kendall for joining us as well and for his enforcement efforts. Thank you very much. Bye now.